Recently, I played a gig with a spoken word artist / rapper, and we were covering a song that was in a type of a minor blues style. The song is relatively simple in that it goes from F minor to C minor 7. Now, playing with the rapper, I usually use voicings and rhythms that are relatively simple because, as you may have noticed when you listen to your favorite rap songs, the band typically functions as a loop. However, in this particular performance, there were moments where there was tension that was building. The drummer started to play, cross rhythms or polyphonic rhythms, and I thought this was a good place to use fourth voicings. And so I did. As you may have noticed, fourth voicings are typically used by McCoy Tyner in a modal setting, much like the song of the gig that I'm telling you about. According to Paul Rinzler, one of the few people who have written about the detailed harmony of McCoy Tyner, especially his modal, pentatonic, and minor-based harmony, speaks to the fact that McCoy Tyner favored the modes Dorian and Aeolian. Let me cover some quick questions. What exactly is a fourth voicing? Well, this is a chord that is made up of fourths. So for instance, a C quartal 7th chord will look like C, and then we have a perfect fourth on top of that, and on top of that we want to stack another perfect fourth. How do I build other scale related fourth voicings? Well, you do so by deriving fourth voicings from scales. As I had stated, Rinzler notes that Aeolian and Dorian, for instance, are typical for McCoy Tyner. Let's say we take Dorian, which would be the second degree of a major scale. In this case, second degree of B flat major. This means that we can stack fourth voicings according to this scale. First degree, second degree, third degree, fourth, 5, 6. And if you notice at chord 7, we probably won't be able to do a fourth voicing because that A flat does not exist in C Dorian. So we would maybe rather do a major third on top of the E flat. And this kind of reminds you of the so what voicings, doesn't it? Now you may wonder, what exactly would McCoy Tyner play in his right hand? His left hand is fairly commonly known in that it stacks fourth voicings in a parallel motion. Going back to the left hand for a second, the degrees in which McCoy Tyner usually stacks these fourth voicings typically are the 1, the 4th, and the 5th degree. He also uses the 2nd degree and the 3rd, but for the purposes of keeping this specific video straightforward, I will deal only with the 1, 4, and 5. What approach is McCoy Tyner using to play this intro in a Love Supreme, for example? What he does is inversions. He takes inversions of his left hand, the fourth voicing parallel stacks, and he inverts them in his right hand. For instance, the one on the 1st degree, C, F, B flat. I'll put this in my right hand, and what he does is he'll take the bottom note and he places it on top. Now we have a kind of a F suspended fourth. And then if we invert it again by putting the F above, now we have a B flat suspended 2 chord, right? But I'm not really thinking of them as suspended chords per se because I'm thinking in a modal context. So to me, it's still C quartile 7. And I think that's one of the fundamental things that you need to remember, is that you're treating it still as the quartal voicing, but you're being creative by playing around with the inversions. And I could do the same for 4th degree. So you kind of have these. And it's not to say that when you're on 1st degree, you do 1st degree inversion. When you're on 4th degree, you do a 4th degree inversion and 5th degree inversion. In most cases, it's going to work like that, but it's not limited to that. 2 things that you're going to need to remember that's going to make the sound good is your own creativity, and second of all, which I think is more important, is McCoy Tyner, when he implements these voicings, he uses pentatonic shapes. So when he is comping, he's creating pentatonic based melodies. Now in this case, that would be C minor pentatonic, which means that whatever I'm doing in the right hand, I'm going to choose these suspended chords, right? But I'm going to outline a type of a pentatonic based harmony. And I can add my right hand to that.